Well, hey, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. It is a beautiful, albeit very warm, for me, hot day. Um, I think that it's, let's see here. It's saying it's only 88 degrees, but it feels a lot hotter than that. Having fair complexion and red hair, that doesn't, me and the sun don't mix very well. But outside of that, I do enjoy it when it gets warm and we can go out and enjoy the day a little better. I just prefer a little bit more cloud coverage, that happy medium between where it's just dreary and sunshiny, somewhere in the mix. That might be why I like to say that my mind is kind of like a mix between Eeyore and Tigger. That's kind of my personality and my mindset. I can go from both sides. And so, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I hope that you guys are having a great week. I hope that things are going well for you and your family. And I just like to get here on these videos. And one, I like to do them live. So if you happen to miss this live and you're watching this recording, try to do these every Friday, typically in the afternoon. Probably going to look at maybe finding a better time so that people can jump in, but would love to have you join us live if you are not doing so right now. And that way, we can get some good feedback and I can comment and see, how things are going for you. And, just that whole live interaction is pretty fun when we're able to get that going. Other than that, I definitely love it when you guys comment even afterwards. Want to hear your thoughts. Give me thumbs up, like, subscribe, subscribe, join us, and just the feedback is amazing. What else? Let's see. What was it? My brain just went. That's another thing. Okay, I'm all about making sure that when I'm doing these videos, I want to make sure that I'm informing, educating, and entertaining you. And sometimes part of the entertainment is just watching me flounder here because it is live. And your thoughts come and go sometimes, and you can get these neat scripts written out before you go live. But let's face it, once that camera starts rolling and you're on there, anything kind of goes, and so does your mind, or at least mine does. Maybe that's just me. And also, sometimes I get to talking really fast, and I definitely need some water. Typically, I like coffee, and coffee is filtered through water beans, so maybe that counts. But some people tell me it doesn't, so I've got myself a glass of actual water. So, so that's kind of that. What we want to talk about today is, and as the title of this video is, how our core value of keep learning can help you in finding the right house cleaning service for you. See, this is what happens when you're live. So let's go ahead and try to work on those and we'll kind of walk through this. So to give you an idea or a framework here for a moment, our core values are be responsible, consider others, make it better, and keep learning. And so today I want to really focus in on that keep learning and just kind of walk you through what that looks like for us here and maybe help you get an idea of why that's important to me. First of all, I don't believe that I know it all. Some people in my life might disagree with me, but I know that I don't know everything. I just really like to learn stuff, and that's where this comes from. I feel like I'm a sponge, and I just want to soak up as much of what is around me and available. I've got my Audible account that I've got a ton of books. There's a lot there, and I love to listen to these, and I love to go back through them a lot. I like, handbooks as well. I've got some here. I'll show you guys here in just a little bit. I also like taking classes that help me to not only be a better boss, but us as a company to be better at what we do. I like doing things that help me to become better as a husband, as a father, even a better contributor to my community. And I really believe that all these things kind of intersect. That's one of the reasons I really encourage anybody, if you've ever been turned off by the whole concept of self-help, and I really hate that word because there is no such thing as self-help. I mean, think about it. If you pick up a self-help book, somebody else had to write that with input from other people to help them write a really good book, to put it in your hands, that they went to a publicist or maybe even did it, themselves, but they got it into a bookstore so they could sell it to you. There's a lot of people involved in you sitting down with this self-help book, so it's not really self-help. So yeah, that's just my little rant there for a moment. But if you've been turned off on those things, I really encourage you to look at some of these like nonfiction self-help style books, as they're called, because they have so much application to your life. Whether you're running a business, whether you're an employee, whether you're trying to start your own thing, whether you're a husband, a mother, a child, it doesn't matter. I really think that if you go into it with an open mind, there is so much you can glean from these. And really, that's what you're after. And anything else, as I've heard somebody say, the pursuit for knowledge is kind of like dealing with peanuts. You open it up and sometimes you get a lot of shell, but there's always at least some form of peanut in there, and you eat that. Unless, of course, you have a peanut allergy, in which case, let's just ignore this analogy and find something else. But you get the point. The point is you take what's valuable and you consume that and just get rid of the rest of it. It's not a big deal, even if you don't have to go, if you don't go through the entire thing. So with that said, some of the things that we've been doing around here, especially with the whole coronavirus, and as more knowledgeable stuff about, as more people are becoming aware of, bacteria, viruses, and microbiology and how that impacts our lives, we've wanted to make sure that we stay on top of things. So as you can see behind me here, we went through the Global Biorisk Advisory Council of ISSA, which is an organization that's really about making sure that the cleaning industry is well educated and that we are prepared to deal with those kind of things. They have a task force here, and we went through the online fundamentals training course with an emphasis in SARS-CoV-2, also known as COVID-19. Another one we went through is just understanding what professional house cleaners need to know in a COVID-19 world. So that's kind of the stuff we've been learning. Here next Friday, I'm going to be going through a course online, and it's dealing with this here. Love to show you guys. Make sure the reflection of the light doesn't hit it too much. Anyway, what this is, it's a course on, it's called the HCT course. It's the House Cleaning Technician's Manual for Professional House Cleaners. We're going to be going over like the science of cleaning, because house cleaning is not about just simply picking up a cloth and cleaning. There's more science to it. The surfaces that we have available to us in building, it's just amazing. There's so many great things out there, but they're not all the same. And what works for one type of surface isn't really good for another. And so that's some of the stuff we're going to be learning to understand the materials and surfaces in a home, things like contents and furnishings, tools and equipment, safety and health. So I'm really excited to go through this. It's a two-day course, and I'm really, again, I don't know the word to use, but I'm excited to go through and learn, because I want to make sure that what we do for our customers is based upon good information, good science, and great knowledge. So that's kind of what that is there. And this is all in keeping in line with our core value of keep learning. Never assume that you have all the answers. Never assume that you know everything. I read it somewhere or heard it somewhere a long time ago, and it's the idea of having a beginner's mindset. It's the idea that no matter how far advanced you get, there's always something you can learn. And if you start with that beginner mindset, then you're more open to ideas that if you just figure that you knew everything, you wouldn't consider. And I never want to just write something off because, well, I know it all. If that makes sense. And I'd love to get your take. If this is resonating with you, if you understand what it means to really have a voracious desire to learn more, give us a like. Leave a comment on what drives you. Why do you want to learn? I'd love to hear that and find out that from you. So kind of share a little bit about some of the books that I've gone through. This is a really great one, and it's called The Most Excellent Way to Lead. Now, this one, definitely it's about leadership, but it really, for those of you that have a Christian faith background, and honestly, if you don't, I really encourage this book, because it really helps you to look at leadership in a completely different light, I really feel. But for those that have a Christian background, this is coming from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, what we've always called the love chapter. And he walks that through of how while it's about love, but it's really about the best leadership style. And so this is really good. I really highly recommend it. Next one here is called, it's a little tiny book. It's called The Go-Giver. Now, some people may have heard The Go-Getter, and that's a pretty good book. I mean, it's got some really good things in it too that can be taken away. But this one here, The Go-Giver, it's really about the concept that those who succeed in life are those who give. And that kind of runs really counterintuitive to a lot of what we've learned. The idea is not so much that we don't want to give, and I don't think that's the problem that people have. It's that in giving, we receive, and that by being more focused on what we can give as individuals, as businesses, as a community, as we focus on giving to each other and serving, then we actually open up the doors to be able to become a better version of whatever it might be that we are doing. And so I really like that. It's a real quick, easy read. Another one here is called Essentialism. Now, this is a very meaty, I would call, type book, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm still trying to work on implementing in this. But it's the concept that it's not about getting more done. It's about getting the right things done and figuring out a way to clear out all that noise that we all face each day for what matters most for us in that moment. And and I kind of, as I'm looking at this and thinking about it, that really translates to how I feel about what it means for us to provide cleaning services to people. So I feel that our goal is to clear up the clutter, the dirt, the whole concept of getting the home clean, getting that out of the way, so that when our customers when they come home at night, or they're just there during the day, whatever, when they enter their home, that those things that just tend to like scream at them and demand time, such as getting the house clean and taking care of their floors, making sure their bathrooms are taken care of, doing the dusting that seems like, you wipe something and 2 seconds later you got to wipe it again. Those kind of things that is cleared out of the way, so you can breathe and you can slow down and you can focus on what is essential for you in this moment. That's what I want to be able to give our customers. It's not the clean home. It's what that clean home can offer them. The ability to relax, the ability to think clearly, because the noise of the home and what it takes to keep that in order and clean is out of the way. And so really I think that's really good. I was just kind of, as I was reading these titles, and I've gone through these before, I wanted to share that with you. Another one here, and I really highly recommend, this is a simple read. I had my oldest, who's now 18, I had her read this back when I think she was like 11, maybe? Something like that. So it's a really easy read. Anyway, it's called QBQ. It's the question behind the question. This is where our first core value of be responsible I want to say comes from. It comes from just a natural tendency of myself. But this really spoke to me. And oh man, I think we're attempting to reconnect. There we go. Okay. Darn connections. Anyway, it's about the idea of personal accountability and asking good questions that help you not to be a victim, but help you to find ways for solutions, so that you're not at the whim of that out there, And so really highly encourage people to read that. I've got a whole slew of other books that I would really highly recommend. One I'm going through, oh man. Okay, hold on. If you guys just saw a weird pause in this whole video where I'm just like staring off in space, not saying anything, uh, it's because of technology. Somehow with Lightstream here, it just like crashed and came back, and I had no idea. Yeah, so I'm looking at my Facebook thing here, and it's a little bit of delay, and it shows a black screen all of a sudden. You couldn't see anything. I'm so sorry. Hopefully, when I go to upload this afterwards, I can take that out. So where were we? Yes, I was saying that I have a whole lot of other books that I'd love to recommend. One I'm going through right now is called From Good to Great. I really am excited and enjoying that. So all that said, okay, how does this translate to you finding the right house cleaning service for yourself, for your home, for your family? Uh, and this doesn't matter where you live. You know, if you live in our area and you find somebody else that fits for you, that's great. What I want to make sure is that you are finding a great company that is passionate about learning more about the craft. If you come across a company that goes, you know what, this is the way we've been doing it for the past 20 years. We still use, string mops, things like microfiber. We want to touch that, but they've never really tried anything out. They're focused on, like Murphy's oil is one thing to use vinegar on everything. I'm not going to pick up a book. I don't need to. If they aren't if they don't feel a need to continue learning, to keep learning, because things change and there's new information that comes out, if that's not of value to them, I would highly encourage you to look elsewhere, to go find a company. Again, even if that's not us, if you find someone who is, this company is big on learning more and becoming better at what they do in order to serve you, then they could easily be a great fit for you and your home. But again, if they're not, if think about it, if they're not concerned about making sure that they're learning more about their business and the industry that they're in with the house cleaning, if that's not important to them, then how important is it going to be for them to learn about your home and those little things that are important to you? I don't think there's really much incentive. And if you want to ask them to try to do something, they're probably not going to be really interested in that. So consider this as you're looking for a house cleaning service. Ask them, how important is it for them to keep learning about the cleaning industry, and see what they say. So hopefully this whole long thing has been, again, informative, educational, and entertaining to you. If not, I'm so sorry. Leave a message in the comments section and tell me what you would do if you were me to make this better. Love to hear that. That'd be kind of an interesting thing. And as always, if there's something, a topic, subject, anything, if you've got a question that you would like for me to try to answer, go ahead and leave that in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. I'm also going to make sure that I put a list of all these books and stuff that I shared with you today in the comments section, in the description there. That way, if you want to check those out, you're more than welcome to. If you've got a book or a resource that's helped you to learn to be better in something, go ahead and share that with the group. It may be interesting to see just what other people are doing, what their profession is, and how they're trying to become better, because you might actually have something there that somebody else would be interested in learning more about. So with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Enjoy.